So today I'm tackling few jobs, literally a few jobs on the Jeep. First one to get started with though is we're going to install this Molle Platform Solutions mounting system so that I can create more storage in the Jeep for things that we can strap to this. So the location for this is going to be right up here, just under the freedom panels, which means you got to remove the freedom panels, and there's going to be locations that mount in the front, locations that mount in the rear, and that's not a problem. What is a little bit difficult is I do need to move the rack out of the way, because that is going to be in the way of me trying to drill my holes and insert the 2 screws in the back of the Molle panel area. And that means I've got to remove, because I have the Rhino-Rack backbone, I'm going to have to remove the bolt here on each side. And then I've actually got to remove the 3 bolts in the back, right back in here, that hold the top onto the Jeep, and either slide the top back slightly out of the way, or just lift the front of it up and give myself some room to get a drill in there. So, yeah, this is the mess I made for myself, obviously, because I put the rack on first. Word to the wise, if you're ever thinking about installing some kind of a Molle panel solution right in this location, you might want to do that first before installing something like the Rhino-Rack platform. Okay, so with the freedom panels off, now you can see roof rack actually overhangs the area in the front that I need to get to, which is going to be right back under here. So the top of the roof, that's going to need to either lift up out of the way or slide back out of the way so I can get access to an area on the roll bar that I need to drill. So next up, let's get the roof rack and roof all raised up and moved out of the way. Now I'm going to try and do this without taking the awning off on the other side. That is the OBS awning 270. Weighs about 70 pounds. I may end up having to take that off too, but I'm kind of hoping I don't. These are the 2 front bolts right above on the top, holding the top to the roll bar just above the passenger and driver's seat. All right, let's get you guys caught up here. I've been doing a bunch of work on this and not really filming because we're trucking along here. But you remember I said I don't really want to have to remove the awning if I can avoid it. See what's going on behind me, right? This thing is just heavy. It's 70 pounds. So I went ahead and removed the awning, and it was still pretty heavy to lift and move. So look, as you can see, there's about 45 pounds of Rhino-Rack roof rack there with everything on it. And yeah, we went ahead and removed that stuff just to make it easier on ourselves, because we had to move the top back a little bit. So what you can see here is I just went ahead and lifted the top up and slid it back a little bit. You saw the bolts I was removing in the front. There's 3 bolts back here, and then an electrical plug you have to disconnect in the back. So that's all done. Now what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and set the Molle panel up here on the top back here, behind the seats, and then of course above the windshield here we're going to be drilling some holes and putting our self-stepping screws in. But first we have to remove the 2 mounts for the freedom panel. So I've already removed the left one, and I'm getting ready to move the right one, but as you can see I put a silver mark right on the clip so that I could put it back exactly where it was. If you don't get that put back exactly in the right spot, what you're going to run into is your freedom panel is not going to sit right at the right level where it was before, and that you don't want that. So be sure to mark that if you guys are doing this. Otherwise, yeah, you could create some problems for yourself. All right, now that we got those 2 pieces removed, what you're going to want to do is the back's going to have to slide in first, because this is going to want to slide in under the 2 freedom panel mounts. So you can see where this slides in with the tab sitting on top. Now you're going to have to take this little piece of weather stripping here and move this out of the way so you can set the front down in there, and that can snap right back on when you're done. But we'll get that out of the way for now so that we can actually drill our holes out. Hey, if you're finding this video useful at all or entertaining, right, hit the like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it, you guys. By the way, we're going to be heading up to Overland Expo, Pacific Northwest, Redmond, Oregon. If you guys are there, come find us. You just look for the Golden's Gone Wheelin' logo. Would love to meet some of you guys while we're there.
It's always a good idea to center punch your spots before you drill. You don't want the drill bit walking on you.
Yep. How are these looking back here? There. Make sure it was snugged up, but there you go. Pretty cool. Now if I could just get out of here. Without falling down. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Me likey. It's pretty solid. It's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put our freedom panel brackets back on. Remember, we marked those before we took them off. And then we can just slide our top back forward, put our freedom panels back on, and then put the roof rack back on and the awning back on. And yeah, it's that kind of deal. Sometimes you just gotta piece together a solution. And these, I don't think need to be freaking torqued down like they're plastic, so just be careful with these guys. They're hard plastic, but I don't think you need to put a ton of stress on them. There we go, good to go. All right, let's get the top back on and we'll put the freedom panels back on. All right, Tater, you ready? Up, yep. Gotta go here, there you go. Perfect. There's that.
Like a
So
glove.
I can put my bolts back in and reconnect the electrical. Looks pretty good. Make sure this one's good. Yep, good. Cool. Cool. Those look like it sucked down okay up there on top.
Yep.
This is how I always hurt my shoulder. My left elbow and shoulder fucked it up. There it is. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
All right, well, check this out. So, as you can see, Molle panel installed. Sucker is super solid. Doesn't get in the way of the freedom panels at all. You can see the latches are accessible through a little section here. And the reason I like this MPS one is because they really make full use of the whole area. They've got some holes drilled in here so you can mount stuff with bolts if you want to. And I know this one's a bit of a pain because you got to get under there to install on the back, but I think it's worth the effort. If you'd asked me this 2 hours ago, I probably would have said, oh no, it's not worth the effort. But yeah, hats off to my son Taylor for helping me freaking lift the roof rack off, because that guy weighs about 45 pounds and it's kind of awkward, you know, lifting that off. It's back on now. Put this last lock back in here. And now I just got to get the awning back up there. Okay, awning back on. Roof rack back on, roof back on, all that for a Molle panel. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of work, but I think that's gonna buy us some storage in there, which is gonna be really helpful. Got it done just in the nick of time. Before lunch, it's gonna be 100 degrees out today, and it's already kind of scorching. It's gotta be close to 100 already. This project is a wrap. One more project I need to work on this weekend is getting this fender put back together. Hopefully I can get that taken care of before we take off. Hopefully you guys like this. If you did, like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.